Alright, left off in the last part here. Got this pretty damn far along. Gotta take it back further, but I got a good big flat side grinded here. So we're gonna move on to this side and get this caught up to the back side there. I'm gonna track my belt too to come off this side. There's a little bit of metal showing there, which there has to be, or my finger would be half gone. It's 36 ceramics. Extremely aggressive. Belts cost more and are worth every penny, and in the long run you can run this belt down to damn near the fabric. You can't do that with an aluminum oxide belt. Aluminum oxide, they have their place for things, but for something like this, especially hogging through my coarser grits, these cost more, but I can run this belt, the abrasive down damn near till the belt's worn out. It isn't still big chunks of abrasive, like that's, if we're looking under a microscope. You might have a piece of aluminum oxide and it'd be that big and have a sharp edge. You grind on it for 5 to 10 minutes and it's still like pretty much that big, but the corner's rounded off. It's not sharp anymore, like a dull knife, and it just builds up heat in your workpiece. So you spring the money for this, and in the long run, instead of swapping out and using 5 belts, instead of using, I don't know, say a period of using at least 5 belts, making 5 knives, I use this one belt and make 5 knives with one belt, Just can't answer back to my, but these are actually, they cost more, but it's highly economical to use them and save you frustration of building up extra heat you don't need. I even got a new style belt here to try out. I never used them on. This grinder's new to me, but I've used all kinds of different belts before. There's this new oddball style 3M came out with. It's in like little sections. Actually, I'll just grab it here and put it on camera. It's like a little section, but it's, instead of just your bonded flat abrasive, it's like little stones. So I got 3 of them here to give it a try. I'm going to turn this off for I catch a belt and a moving belt. I got 3 to give them a try. But it's almost like a, if I focus here, yeah, it's kind of focused. These are almost like little rectangle blocks of like actual like grinding stone, like you'd have on a grinding wheel. And they're spaced out so air can flow through and cool shit down. And they're actually pretty high and thick off the paper. But these things look pretty damn cool and badass, and there's one of the like top known knife makers. He has a instructional video you can purchase and like back in knife magazines and shit. But he recommends these, but he only uses them in like a medium to finer grit for certain parts. Which when you get the finer grit, you got a lot more edges hitting per square inch, so you'll build up heat faster, even though you're removing less metal, and it's not chunking out a big piece of metal. It's abrading more than kind of like cutting. These thick, big ass thick belt, it's kind of actually just like cutting out a bunch of little chunks at a time. It's technically a finer belt is, but it has a lot more contact areas across the surface, and you build heat up real fast. That's kind of where these come into play. He mentioned it in this video I was watching. He was doing hollow grinding, but I just figured I'd order 3 of them up and give them a try here. And these are made by 3M. Called here, I'll put that. There's 300 grit, 3M. It's Trizact, whatever the hell. But anyway, that's what this weird grit is. But I'm looking forward here when I get past the roughness knife. I'm gonna try out one of these belts here and see how it does for me. Definitely something interesting. And technology always gives us good shit. As years go by and new shit comes out, some things are flop and some things are just amazing. It's kind of like this ceramic over regular aluminum oxide. And the concept of having all them slots and air gaps belt's going by and it's pulling cool air in there, so it's like air cooling the surface you're grinding as you're grinding it. So it looked like it's pretty darn good concept to me to begin with. So it doesn't look like it's going to be much of a gimmick, and also recommended by a very well-known knife maker. And I think he's been making knives for 20-some or 30 years, and I'd put faith in he knows what the hell he's talking about, because he's been there, done that a million times over. And what he was using when he recommended them, he was using a 300 grit. So I got 3 belts and 300 grit. The reason I got 3, a bunch of shit was on sale, so I was getting a couple of different belts and shit at a time. Least I got any belt was 3, so I figured I would order 3 of that kind. Some I got 4 belts and 5 belts of, and my big roughing belts are like 36 one here. I actually got 6 of. 60 grit I got 5 of. 80 I got like 4, and 123. 120 I got like 3 of them, and whatever else, 220 in the ceramic. Then I got some real fine grits in aluminum oxide, but that was just getting me a selection of belts here for my new grinder. Just if I'm bullshitting and not grinding. I guess I should be grinding while I bullshit, but let me get back at this here. I just got a phone call to check.